Okay, welcome to exercise 1 of Revit, and I'm going to teach you how to do simple extrusions within a family. So the starting point is opening Revit, and you should get a screen like this. You should have watched the basic controls video before this. So we're going to create a new family. So the family is new, and you will open a file structure, which should be Revit 2020 Family Templates English, and then we're going to use these are all templates, and we're going to do metric generic model. There's lots of other things which can have constraints, so you can make things that would always only fit on a wall or would only fit on a roof, but we're making this generic one so we can avoid the constraints for now. Let's open that, and this is a template for you to build your first family or component, and you just start off with some crosshairs. But now in 3D space, you've got to think about what it is you're looking at. So on the left hand side, you've got a project browser menu here, and it's showing that you're looking at reference level, which means you're looking at plan level, so a floor plan from above. So we're looking above, looking down on these crosshairs. If you change to a front view, it would look very similar. Crosshairs again, but this time you can see you're looking at a side view, if you like, with a reference level of 0. So always be aware where you are. So I'm going back to reference level. So we've got a brief to build a house, and it has plan dimensions of 8 meters by 5 meters. So you're not quite sure what scale you're working at. The viewpoint, you've got scale here, but this is all being drawn effectively in 1:1 at this stage. There's a tool here called a reference plane where you can strike new lines across this in order to create new shapes. So if we do create and then reference plane and then just drag with your mouse across here, you get a reference plane, and this is just under 1.5 meters away, and this dimension for our house, the way I'm looking at it, would be 5 meters. So click into here and type in 5,000, and that line then goes away to 5 meters away. So we can zoom out, or we can press on the scroll and pull back to get the view, or we could do ZE so we can see this 5 meters. So I know I'm going to make a base from here kind of to here, and I want to go 8 meters this way. So let's get a feeling for where this 8 is. So let's do create, reference plane, and then pull something down here, align 2 clicks. So that's 6.5 or just over. So let's type 8,000 here. If I do ZE, then that gives you a feeling that you're going to create a rectangle from here round to here. So I'm going to show you how to create that. So first of all, you're going to into create, and you're going to go extrusion. When you press these buttons, you get different menus. So in here you've got options of what kind of extrusion, what shape of extrusion you want to actually create. This one would be lines. You could create any shape with this. This one would be a rectangle. Obviously a rectangle would be easier for what we're wanting to do, but I'll just show you the line command for completeness. So here's a line, press that. So going from here, I wanted to go up for 5 meters, and you'll see when I get to that, it shows I can connect to it as soon as I get close. So connect onto that by clicking across here onto this other one, which is 8 meters away. Click onto that. Even though you haven't extended a reference line down to this point, it will understand that there's a connection between those two. So you get to that point, 5, and then back to here. So you've now created this purple line, which is your extrusion. You have to press the green button to say I've finished and I'm complete. If you start moving on different menus now, things go wrong and it doesn't like it, so you must press the green button. So now you've said I've created a rectangle. Of course, it isn't just a rectangle, it's got to be some kind of extrusion because it's 3D drafting, so you're creating a model. So you don't know how deep that it's drawn this yet. And if you went back to the front view, let's see what it's done. If I type in ZE, I can get it all in the screen. So I can see 8 meters, so I can see on the front view, I can see 8 meters. I'm sure if I went to the left or right, it would show me a 5 meter dimension because that's how big it was on plan in that direction. We're not quite sure how deep this is, but we know how deep it needs to be. We've been told the house is 6 meters high. So let's just see, we can measure this and see how high this is. And then the standard extrusion starts off at 250. Double escape gets rid of that. 250 is what they all start off at, and sometimes that can be very big if you're drawing something a small component, or in this case it's quite small in the idea of scale. So we want a reference plane somewhere up here to attach it to get to the 6 meters high. So create reference plane, strike this across. This wants to be 6 meters high. Type that in. So now if I click on this with a single click, or a double escape to get rid of the reference plane, just click on this, it shows I can stretch these. So even though I've drawn it, I could stretch these in any directions. And I want to get this one, and I want to pick it up, and I want to connect it onto that line. Okay. Double escape, so you're not in move or stretch anymore. So this is now a cube, and again it looks like a rectangle. Let's go into 3D view. And if I do ZE, you're looking onto a slight off view here. So you can use those basic commands I showed you, so the shift key and the scroll button to do this. Scroll out slightly so you can see it better. Choose the views you want to look at, so let's say shaded. So we can see now we've got a block, and we know that if we went to the top, the dimensions are 8 meters by 5 meters, and if we went to the front, we know the dimension is 8 meters here and 6 meters high. So that's really basically how to create an extrusion. A key skill which you'll repeat several times to finish this house.